Hello and welcome to V8 Tech Work. So today we are going to start building this beautiful admin dashboard from scratch. As you can see here in the home page, we have this gauge chart that shows the number of the prospect in terms of percentage. Also, you can see here this also a circle here that shows the number of donors that is in the system. Also on the right side here, you can see the recent donors who donated blood, because this admin dashboard is for a project that I'm building for blood donation. So right here also you can be able to see this pie chart here, and this pie chart here shows the number of people that has a certain group type. So for example, this one we have a group type of AB. This one for the blood group is all positive, and also we have this one for blood group O negative. So you can be able to see this pie chart here, and you can see it is interactive. When you hover over it, you can be able to see the data. Also on the bottom here, you can be able to see the number of people who are coming to donate blood each day. The other thing is that when you click on these donors here, actually you can be able to see that this part here, the background color here has changed, and also the color of the text. And if you come back here for the home, you can be able to see the same. The background color here has changed. So to show you the active link, so for this one you can see the active link is donors, and then for the donors here you can be able to see this page that lists all of the donors here. So the other thing is that you can see donors are displayed using rich data table here, and this rich data table is very important because using this we can be able to do some functionality. For example, when I hover over here on the column, you can be able to see these three dots, and when you click them you can be able to sort by ascending, sort by descending, you can be able to filter or search, and also you can do something like hiding. So for example, when I click on sort by ascending, you'll be able to see that it will just remain the same because it is in ascending. But when I click on sort by descending, you can be able to see that now it starts from the number 10 to number 1 here. So also I can be able to hide this column like that, and then we can be left with the other column. So for example, then let's say I want to search a name, so I'm going to come here for the filter, and I'm going to, for example, search for something like Rauda White, something of the sort. And then the other thing is that if I want to, for example, do the same for the group, for group type here, also I can do ascending, descending, and also other functionality. So also you can click here and you'll be able to delete the donor that you want to delete. So the other thing is that when you click on new donor here, you'll be able to go to the new donor page here, and you can be able to add the details here for that donor, for a new donor, and then save it to the database. Also you can be able to see that because we are on the donors part here, or the donors page, you can be able to see that link doesn't change, or this background color doesn't change, and also the text of the donors. So if I click here for the prospect, you can be able to see that also we are using the same, this rich data grid here that allow us to filter and also sort, hide columns, and many other functionality that I showed you in the previous, or in the few minutes ago. So here also I can be able to click on approve and be able to be redirected on this page, whereby you can be able to see this part that showed the details of that prospect. And by prospect I mean that person who has registered as a person who want to donate blood but they have not donated blood. So also for the donors here, if I click for the donors and then come here for edit, for example, you'll be able to see the details for that donor, and you can be able to edit the information here, and you can see how simple it is, and then you'll be able to update right here. So this admin dashboard is very simple and also beautiful, and by creating this beautiful admin dashboard with me, you'll have equipped yourself with so many skills, like how to have a good layout, or how to understand React Router DOM to be able to create a beautiful admin dashboard. Also, by creating this application with me, you'll be able to also have a skill whereby you can create other system like CRM and also many other system that requires admin dashboard, or maybe a system like this one here. So I don't want us to waste a lot of time, because you have seen the functionality that you are going to create on this admin dashboard. We are going to use Tailwind, and also we are going to use React. So if you want to create this system along with me, so what you need to do is that you need to create a React application, a blank React application, because we are going to start from scratch. So right here you can be able to see the guide, whereby you can be able to create a React application using Vite, because Vite is very important when it comes to creating the application for React and also building that application for production. So you'd be able to just come into their terminal. For example, I'm using Windows, and you can see I navigated to the documents here, and after I navigated to documents, now I use these commands here to be able to create a React application from the scratch. So you need to first of all copy this terminal command here. So you can copy it, and then you are going to paste it here. And the other thing that you can change here is you can change this from my project to the name that you want to call your project. So after that you can enter, and then you cd into that project, and then here you need to install Tailwind CSS, because we are going to use Tailwind and you are going to master Tailwind CSS. So the other thing is that you can initialize here, so Tailwind in CSS here. After that, now the other thing that you need to do when you create that application, you need to open your code using, or that application using, your editor of your choice, maybe VS Code. For me, I'm using VS Code. So right here, because already I have created that application and it's running here, as you can see here, you can be able to see that we don't have any code that we are going to use in our application. So we are going to start from scratch. So here also I have opened my application using VS Code, and right here, this is where you need to add the information. So in this tailwind.config.js, as instructed by this documentation, so you can see you need to open tailwind.config.js, and inside here the contents, you'll find this content to have an empty array, and you need to add these 2 lines of code here. And then after that, the last thing that you need to do is to come to index.css. So index.css is inside the source folder here, and you can be able to see it here. And then when you open it, you can be able to add those 3 lines of code on the top of this page that is called index.css. So after that, now you need to get to run this command npm run dev, and through that will be open application that look like this one here that you can see on my screen. So now after that, now let's get and start coding this beautiful admin dashboard. Now for this application, one thing that I want you to notice is that we have our sidebar here that we can use to navigate to different pages. For example, when you click on the donors here, you can be able to see that this menu is left here, or it's here by default, and then the pages are the only one that changes here, and we need to think about how we can be able to create this type of layout. So I will come back to home here, and let's come back to now our application here. I'm going to cross, or actually let me first of all open like that index of CSS, because I want to first of all remove every styling that we have right here. So I'm going to remove it like that, and when I come back to my application here, you'll be able to see that. Let me save it so that we don't have that styling here. So I don't see if you can see we have removed that default, this default here. You can see we have removed that default styling from index.css. Another thing is that you need to come to app.jsx here, and you can remove everything that is up here, because we are not going to require them in this project. So also I'm going to remove here everything that is inside here. Let me remove it like that. And after that, if I come back to my application here, you can be able to see that is now blank. So inside here, what I can do is that I'm going to test if Tailwind is working. So I'm going to add a text here, admin dashboard, like that. And then when I save this like that and come back here, you'll be able to see that we have this text right here. So well, let's see if our Tailwind is working. So I'm going to add here class name, and I can add text and then 3xl here. So this one will make this text to be large. So I'm going to come back here and you can see admin dashboard here. So that means our Tailwind is working and we are all set. So let's just remove this here like that. And there are things that I want us first of all to make sure that we are going to install. So let us install several things. So in here I want to remove this or to close that page, and also this tailwind.config.js, and then we are going to be left with this. So we are going to be left with only this app.jxx page. So now the other thing that I want to do right here is to make sure that I install different packages. So I'm going to push this up here, and I'm going to open this other terminal here, and inside here we are going to be able to install certain packages. For example, the first packages, the package that I'm going to install here is React Router DOM, like that. So React Router DOM, because this React Router DOM, what it will do, it will help us to create a page or application that have different pages, and that's what we want. So after this, now also it has installed this, we are going to also require another package, and that is React Icons. So let us install here React Icons. So npm install and then React Icons, like that. And then when we have these two packages, now we can be able to proceed. So let me close this and also delete. Let me delete this one. So this one is installed. We have installed React Icons because we need to install to have icons in this application, because if you check right here on the left, you can be able to see that we have these icons on the left side here. So let me just now come back to my application right here, and the other thing that I want to do is to change. You can see the title here is Vite plus React. This one is Bridge, so we want to change that. So to change that, you need to come to index.html right here, and I'm going to push this down, and here we can have now Bridge. So because our application is Bridge, so Bridge like that. So I'm going to save this like that, and then the other thing that I want to do right here is to make sure that we have let me see. So here we can have the Bridge, and also I want to remove this icon from here like that. And then when I save this, let me come back here to my application, and you can see my title here have changed. If you have icon, you can just add it right here. So I'm going to close also this page, and then now we can work on the pages that we have in our application. So let me first of all come here and create a pages folder here like that. We are going to have components. So let me add a component inside this source here. So here we have components like that, and inside the components we are going to have menu. So I'm going to have menu.jsx here as a component. And so to install a component, or to actually create have a shortcut, or if you want a shortcut to create a component, you can use RFCE, and this works only if you have actually installed an extension that is called ES7 React. So let's see how you can install that extension. So you need to come here on the left side of this VS Code. You need to click on this extension here, and you can search for ES7 here, and this one will help you to use those shortcuts to create components. So you need to install this extension. So let's close this and go back to our code. So right here now we have created this component. Also, I'm going to create the pages here. So for example, the first page here is home. So home.jsx here, and here we can have RFCE. You can be able to see it here. So I'm going to remove everything right up here. So another thing is that in this page here, we are going also to actually have another page that is donors page. So donors.jsx like that. Also, we need to use RFCE to create that page like that. We need to remove this React because we are not going to use it here right now. So let me also make sure that I save these pages. So we are going to add so many other pages. So now I'm going to add only one. So in the future, we are going to add other pages as they are being required. So prospect.jsx like that. So inside here, we can have RFCE like that. And then let me just remove this import right there. And then when I save this, I can close on these pages here like that. And then let's go back to our application. So in our application right here, because you can see it is still blank, and we can come back to our app.js here and add some HTML here. So for example, hello like that. And when I save this and then come back here, you'll be able to see we have this hello. So if I want to go to another page, for example, the donors page here, you are going to see that we don't have that page. So you are being redirected back to this, the page that is default here in app.jsx. So I'm going to also make sure that I remove this donor here. Actually, yes, and then we are going to have this route page or the default page right here. So what we are going to do is that now I want us to create application that have multiple pages, and to do that we need to have React Router DOM. So I'm going to import several things from React Router DOM. So you can be able to see it right there. And the first thing that we require is we are going to have React 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 provider actually. So let's look for React provider here, or something else that we can have is create browser router. Another thing is React provider. So I cannot be able to see React provider here, and actually I'm looking for a bad or wrong package. So I'm going to use, it is this one, router provider. So and then here we can be able to start by looking at how we can create applications that have multiple pages. So to do that, I'm going to create a variable here that is called router, and this router we accept this React create browser router here, and this is a function that accepts an array as an argument, and this array argument has this via object, and this object you can specify the path. So the path to a page. So for example, here I have a default page here, or the home page, and this, and here we need to add the element. So for our element is the page that you want to display. For example, here I want to display home like that, and here you can see we have error because we have not imported that home page. So I'm going to import home from here. Now we are going to import it from pages. So from pages, and then also from home here. So that's how we can be able to at least import now this home page. So also we need other pages. For example, if we need another page, for example the donors, so we can specify the path for the donors here, and then we can add now the page to show when you go to this path called donors. So we need to display donors here. So you can see here the auto completion is not working for us. So I'm going to just import it here. So I'm going to import it manually. So import donors page from, let's say, donors like that. Actually it is from pages, sorry. So from pages and then donors, you can be able to see it right there. So now after you have created this router here, inside here in or this part for returning, you need to just return router provider like that. And then here inside you need to add router, and also press in the router that you have created as your variable like that. And this, now we have created application that have different pages. So if I come here and maybe try and access like a donors page here, for example, like that, you can be able to see now we can be able to change pages, because here you can see this is a donors page right here. If I go back to this default page here, this is our home page. And that's how you create application for the React that has multiple pages. But in our case it's different, because if you check right here, you can be able to see that we have this sidebar here that we are using to navigate to different pages. We are not having like a full page, and then when you go to another path you are served with a different page. So we have this menu here, or the sidebar by default right here. And then the other thing is that this part here is the only one that changes, and it changes the pages. So what we are going to do is we are going to come here, and I'm going to show you how to create something of the sort. So here we can first of all create a layout. So let's create out a layout here like that. This is a layout, and then here we need to return. So we need to return here, so return a div. And then inside this div, now this is where we are going to specify everything that, or how we want our application to be structured. And this layout is very, very important. So if I go back to now this part, you can see we need to have a side menu here that doesn't change, or that doesn't disappear when you go to another page. So let's come back here, and to make sure that you do that, you need to have a menu. So we are going to have a menu here, and also we are going to have now the other part here that we are calling other pages. So we cannot add all of the pages here, and that's why we need something that is called outlet. So outlet is from React Router DOM, so we can be able to import it like that. So you can be able to see here we have that router, this outlet here. So for the menu here, this is the component that we created. So let me just add here the menu. So this menu here, so it is from components, so I cannot be able to import it. So let me import it manually. So here we can be able to import components, actually menu from now the components. So you can be able to see the components here, and also the menu, just like that. That's as simple as that. So here now we have created our layout, and we have told we have told the React that we need to display menu here, and we need to display other pages here. So when I go to the other page, I'm not going to change the menu. The menu will still be there, but the pages are going to change. So now the last step that you need to do is that you need to just remove the other part here, or this path here. So we are going to use now one path here, and here now we are going to add the layout like that. And then after the layout, we are going to have children. So this children here, children is just an array here. So let me just go back and add colon here like that. And then this one is an empty array. So inside here, this is where we are going to have the path now. So for example, the first path is the default one, our home page, and then here we need to add element, and this element is going to display now our home page like that. And then also we can have other pages. For example, now we can display here path, and then these other pages is, for example, donors. And then here we can show the element, which is our, now we can show here our element, our donors like that, and then show it there. So now let us see how our application works. So right here, if I go back to my application right here, you'll be able to see that we have menu here and the home page. This is for the default or the home page here. And when I try to go to another page here, so for example donors, and it loads, you can be able to see the menu is still there, but this other part, the other page, the page here actually changes from home page to donors page. So now the other thing that I want to do is to make sure that they are displayed side by side, because you can see here the menu and the other pages are displayed side by side. So to do that, I need to come here to the menu, and yeah, I can be able to not actually here. So for our layout here, I need to display class name here. I want to display them flex like that, and then this is the only thing that you need to do for right now. So you can see now we have our menu here, and if I go back to my home page here, so let me do that, let me reload. You can see we have menu and the home here. If I go to the donors now, like that, we can be able to see that we have menu and then donors here. So that's how you create your layout and specify how you want your pages to be displayed. So I don't want to intend this video to be longer than this, so I'm going to actually end my video here, and also I'm going to continue in the other video where we are going to create now the menu here and also the other pages here. So if you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, make sure that you subscribe and also like this video so that it may reach many other people. So let's see you in the next video. Have a great day. Hello and welcome to V8 TechWorks. So today I'm going to continue building this beautiful admin dashboard here. We are going to continue building this sidebar here, or this menu that we have on our left side here. So this is the project, our project that we are building. So also we have created our layout. So the other thing that we need to do is now to look at how we can create that beautiful sidebar here that we are calling the menu. So I'm going to go back to my code here, and the first thing that I need to do is to come here to menu page here, or component, sorry. So what I need to do here, the first thing is to make sure that I import all the icons that I will need from React icon. So I had already prepared all of my icons, so they are just here. So I'm going to copy them, and then I'm going to paste it here. So now the other thing is styling this component. So I'm going to come here and I will be able to style it. So I'm going to have a class name here, and the first thing that I want to give is a height of 100 VH. That means that it will occupy the height or the height. Also, I'm going to give it a gray color that has a variation of 100, and also we are going to give it like a padding. So we are going to have a padding of 20 pixels, and also we are going to have a width here of width of 350 pixels. So 350 pixels, and also we can have a shadow that is of LG like here. So after this, now let us see if this or this how it looks. So if I save this part, so if I save this code here and then come back here and then reload, so it is reloading, you'll be able to see that we have this part here that is our menu here, or our menu bar. So if I scroll down here, you cannot be able to see anything. So let me just come back here, and I need to continue creating now our menu. So inside here, I'm going to have an ordered list. So an ordered list like that. Let me style it now. So for the ordered list here, first thing that I need to do is to give it a flex, and then I want to display my icons in the vertically. So I'm going to add that. Also here I'm going to use item start, sorry, not end, item start, and also I'm going to have a justify content to be, you can have a justify content to be start, I think so, and then margin top, we can have a margin top of let's say 20 pixels, and also we can have a padding left of 20 pixels also, like that. And then now we can continue with our list. So our list will contain now the icon, so like that. So the first icon here that we are going to have is for the home, so far home, like that. And then we are going to have the text home. So you see how simple it will be. So if I come here and save, then go back to my project, you can be able to see we have the icon and the text here home. So I need to style them so that they look at least okay. So I'm going to style here class name. Here I can now here I can say flex. I need them to be flex, and then I want them to have to be aligned at this at the same line. So I'm going to add item center. I'm going to add the icon, font size and font size of the text. So here I'm going to add 20 pixels font size. Also, I'm going to have cursor to be pointer. So the cursor should be the pointer here, and also we can have margin top of 20 pixels, like that. And the other thing that we can do here is that also we can have a transition of colors. So transition, and then you can be able to see transition colors here. And the last thing is to give the duration for animation to be 100, just like that. I think now this will be okay. So let's see how it looks like. So after we save that, you can be able to see that we have like they align at the center, but you can see here also we need to give it, or to give this icon here take a space or a margin. So let's do that. So here I will come here and add class name, so a class name, and then I can say margin right to be at least 15 pixels, so 15 pixels, like that. So if I save this and go back here, you can be able to see now we have this space. So let's see how this one looks like. So here I can first of all create other icons and also the menu. So I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to paste it here. And for this one here, we are going to have a profile. So this one we are going to call it profile. So let me add here profile. So for profile, we are going to use an icon that is a far user. So far user here. So I want you to see now, if I do this and import that, let me just come here, you'll be able to see that we have now the profile here. Also, we can continue with the others right here. So I'm going to add another one here, like that. So for this one, we are going to have we are going to call it donors. So for the donors here, we can have donors. And for this one here, I'm going to use an icon that is called far box, like that. Can be able to see it. So for the other, we can have now the prospect here. So prospects, so let me add prospects here, prospects, like that. And then here I want to add this one to be far users, like that. And then now we can continue. After prospect, what another we can have is orders. So we can have orders right here. So for the orders, we are going to have also another icon that we are calling the far clip. So far clipboard. So far clipboard, I think this one here, clipboard list. And right now we can be able to see how the list is coming along. So you can see how it is being, we are generating this. So let me go back here. So for the after the orders, what we can have is elements. So we can have elements right here, elements, like that. So let me add here, we have elements. Also here for the elements, we can have an icon that is, so for the elements we can have far elementa. So like that, you can see how easy it is. We can have now another one. After elements, we can have settings. So for settings here, we can add settings, here, and we can add now this part here that we are calling, or this icon that we are calling cog icon. So also we can have another list here. After settings, we can have backups. So for backups here, so let me add backups. So backups like that, we can have here now far HDD. Like, let me just add it here, far HDD like that. Also we can have, after backups, the other one that we can have, at least here we can have charts. So let me add the charts here. And also we can have, after the charts here, we can have also all logs. So for here we can have all logs. And also I have forgot to just add here the icon. So for the charts here, we can add an icon here that is far chart bar. So like that. And then here we can have an icon for the all logs. Here we can have an icon that is called for clipboard. So clipboard like that. And then after this one here now, after all logs, I think now is only one for the calendar now. So we can have calendar. So calendar, I think it's spelled like that. So calendar here. So I don't want to just have it like that. So I want to, so we need to call it calendar like that. So here the icon for the calendar is far calendar alt, so like that. So let's save this and see how this one looks like. So yeah, you can see now we have this full list here. So now if you check here, for example, you see that we have this line here that we are going to create. So let me just come up here, and I'm going to create that line. Actually, after the profile here, I'm going to have that line, and this line is the one that we will give us like it will divide our main. So here we have this line here. So we are going to style it. So the class name here, data style, so we are going to give it a full width here. Also, I'm going to give it a margin of vertical, that is, we are going to give it a margin vertical of, let's say, 20 pixels. The other thing that we are going to give is the border. Can give a border of, let's say, gray, and then 200, just like that. So let's see how it looks like. So we can be able to come back here, and you'll be able to see that we have this line. It is not very visible. So what we can do is maybe try and give it a little bit of height. So I think this is we have this full size here. Can make sure that this one is like 300. So if it is 300, then you can be able to see that now it's visible. So I think also we can give it a height, or even we can just leave it like that. I think so. So let us leave it like that for now. So here also I need to make sure that I copy this, and then let me see where else I need to put that. After orders, so we need to have it after orders. So after orders here, let us paste this. Also the other part is after backups, and then that is it. So after backups, so let's look for backups here, and then add this. At this point, I'm going to format my code. So I'm going to come here and format the code using prettier. And then when I save this and then go back to my list here, you can be able to see how well it looks, or how good it looks. So this is the list that we have right now. So what we can do now, the other thing is to make sure that when we on this link here for the home, we can be able to see that we have this part that is red, or the color that is here, background color. We have the background color, and also the text here changes, and that is a very simple thing to do. So if I change here. For the example, I change the link here. You can see also the background color here changes, and also the color of the text. So we need to do that, and to do that we are going to use a state here. Also make sure that we add a state here. So I'm going to create a state up here in my function. So let me add here const. Here I'm going to call this variable here active link. So active link, and also now set active link like that. So you can be able to see how it looks like. So this is the set active link here, and now we can use useState here. So let us import from React. So if you check right here, you'll be able to see that useState has been imported from React. So the other thing is to make sure that here we specify the link, the active link. So I can just use this default link here, and there's something else that I want to see here. So this useState here, you can see useState is called in a function menu. That is neither a React function component or a custom React. I don't know why it is not, it's giving me error here, this useState. I think there's something wrong. So I need to confirm what might be wrong here. So let me just make sure that I add this. So like that. And then I think this one is still okay. I don't know why it is giving me this error. So I know where the problem is coming from. So here you can see we have this useState here, and when you read this error here, you can be able to see a React function component, custom React hook function. React component name must start with an uppercase. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to highlight this menu, and I'm going to make it start with capital letter. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hold Control Shift L to have all to select the whole menu text. So and then I'm going to add it as with a capital letter. So if I do that, you can be able to see here that that error is gone. Another thing that we need to do here is to create a function, and this function we are going to call it handle link click handle link click here like that. And then this one is a function that will be able to change, this one will be able to change our link or the active link. So I'm going to accept link here, and then after that I'm going to set active link like that. And then here I can be able now to make sure that I now set the link like that. So if I add here like maybe I pass in /admin, then it means that this one will change to /admin here. So you can see how easy it will be, because when I click this, then it means that we are going to change the link. So now the other thing is that, for example, for the home here, I need to make sure that I wrap this with the link. So I'm going to make sure that I wrap this with the link here. So let's do that like that. I think now, oh, it's not wrapped. So let's go back here, and let me just make sure that I do the normal way. So I'm going to cut this, and then here I can add link like that, and then I wrap all of this list like that. And then this one is from React Router DOM. So let me import it from React Router DOM. So if you come here, you'll be able to see that we have imported from React Router DOM now this, what we are calling this link. So here, the first thing that we need to do now is to make sure that this is 2 now. This 2 is slash right there. So that, because this is the default that we want to remain on the home page. Another thing is that here we can add now the on click. So on click here, and we want to make sure that we call the function when we click this link. So here I'm going to call handle click. So handle click like that, and then here we can pass in just a default, or this one, this slash here, And then now I can check for several things now. So inside now here in our class name right here, what we can do is that we can add, let me just remove this like that here, and then here we need to make sure to use a conditional statement. So I'm going to use these curly braces and also the backtick, and then here I'm going to remove this double quotation right here, so like that. And then inside here now I can add actually I can be able to add now the condition. So for example, the condition that I'm going to add right here is that we need to add the background color to be that color that looks like red. So here let me add a condition. So I'm going to add if active. So here I'm going to add a condition like this, so using this operation. So if active link, then we need to add a styling here. So let's add this here. So let me just say if this is a default route, so then we need to have a background color. So I'm going to add here a background color of PG, and then here we can have a PG of red, and then 300. And then the other thing that we can have is we can have a padding of, let's say, and also have a padding of 10 pixels, and also we can have a width that to have a width of let's say 200 pixels like that. If not, if we don't, if the active link here is not this route here or default path, then we can just make that to be to do nothing, that is. So let me save this like that format. So here you can be able to see that we have added condition inside this class name here, and we have checked if the active link is the default or this slash here or forward slash here, that means it's the default page. Then we need to add here, actually this is red, so here we need to add now this padding to be 10 pixels and also the width to be 200 pixels. So if I do that and come back here, you'll be able to see that you have this color here that is background color. So when we change the path here, it will change. But right now also we want to make the text white. So what we are going to do is the same thing we are going to do here for our link. So let's or inside actually for this icon here, this is where we are going to add the condition. So I'm going to first of all cut this, and then here I'm going to add the curly braces here and then backticks. So here I'm going to add this margin right here to be 15 pixels, but here I'm going to add a condition. So a condition using this $sign and curly braces. So I'm going to check if it is active link. So if active link is equals to this slash here, so let me make sure that we check for if it is equal to that forward slash there, then we need to make sure that the text is white. So I'm going to add text to be white, otherwise it should remain the same. So, or even what we can do is to make sure that it's red. So let's do that. So text here will be red and then 500 like that. So if I come back here now and then check, and here you can be able to see this one is the only one that has been affected. So let's see if that we can do it here. I think I don't know why it's not working for this text here. Actually it should be. So let's check here. What we can do right here actually is to make sure that for this link, to make sure that even the text here is white. Another thing that we can do is here where we have this background color to be red, also we need to make sure that here also we have text to be white. I think this will work now. So if I do that and then come back here, you'll be able to see now the color is white. So when you click on this part here, also we need to have it. So let me just come back to the home page. So let me come here to my home page. So yeah, and then here we need to click when we go to the donors here, this will change to now. This will be able to change to the donors. So let's do that. So I'm going to actually, what I can do is to copy all of this or to cut all of this link here like that, and then come to the donors here, and I'm going to paste it here like that. And then here I'm going to change this to here to donors, and then here I'm going to change /donors, so donors like that. So the donors, and also here you need to change to donors. So if this changes to donors and also this changes to donors like that, and then here we need to check also for donors, so like that. So we need to change this like that. I think now if I save this and then come back here to my to this application here and click on it, you can be able to see that we have this part here that we are calling it. Actually, when we change here the route, we can be able to see that is changing. So also here, let me just click here, and you can see it's changing also this background color and also the text, the color of the text. So I think I need also to make sure that this one is not red. So if I come here to see it, so I think we can just leave it to be red, because also this one is red. So I don't know if there's any problem. So here I think these are icons, we can leave them like that. So by default, these other ones here should be red. So let me make sure that I do that. I think so. And before that also, I can make sure that I change this also to be, now this one will be prospects, like that. Also this one, remember, is far users, and here we need now this one to be prospects. So prospects, here also we need this to be prospects like that. And then here also is prospects. And also let me check for the other one here. For this one also is prospects. So, and now the other thing is for the donors here also we need to change, because this one will be far, I think this is far user, or what the icon that we used. So this one for the donors here, we are going to use a far box icon, yeah, like that. And then so let us see now here. So if I save that and then come back here, be able to see that these icons have red. So we can make sure that all the icons actually is here, because we don't have we have not set this prospect here in our root here. So let's make sure that we add that in our layout. So here I need to copy this, and then I copy this and then add it down here now like that. So this one will be prospects. So prospects here, and then here we need to now import the prospects page. So prospects like that. Yeah, I need to import that. So let me import prospects like that from now the pages. So pages, you can be able to see the pages and also prospects like that. So if I save that and then come back here, and when it reloads, it will reload to this home page here. When I click donors, it will change to donors right here. And also for the prospect, you can see it is changing to prospects. So I think now this is the thing, or we are okay with this. So the other thing that I can do is to make sure that all this has a color of red. So to do that, I think it will be very simple. I'm going to come here to this menu, and in here, for example, for the home, I'm going to add the text here to be red, and then 500. I'm going to copy this now, and I'm going to paste to every icon that we have right here. So for this one, we are going to change here also like that to be red. So for this one also, we are going to change here to be red, and also for this one, for the prospect, also the same here. And also we can have for the orders the same here, and I'm going to change for every icon here like that. For this one here, I'm going to change it there also. For this one here also, and also for this clipboard here, actually I have pasted the here also, and then also here. I think that's okay now. So if I check now, this will be red. So I think that for my profile here, I've not added that red color here for that icon. So this icon here, I pasted it the way outside my class name, so it should be in my class name here. So if I save that and go back now, you'll be able to see that all icons here are red. So if I click on this part here, you can see we are changing to donors. For the prospect here, you'll be able to see that you are going to the prospect. So in the next part here, now we are going to create the home page so that home page can look like this one here. So see you in the next video. Hello and welcome back. So today we are going to continue building this beautiful admin dashboard here. So right here you can see where we left off, and here we can continue building now this home page here. So you can see we are having this get chart here, we have this circle here, and I'm going to show you how to create this perfect circle here using Tailwind CSS that also can show us the text here that or the number of the donors here. Also, we are going to have this here, this line chart here, and also we can have this, we are going to have this pie chart here, and recent donors here. So here I have divided this part into two sections. So we are having this section here that holds this part that has these two circle here, and also this line chart, and also we have this part that has recent donors here and the pie chart. So these are two sections, and then we have also two sections inside here that holds this part and this part. So let me start by now coming to this part that we are having as a home. So I'm going to close this menu now and open my home page here. So here, this is where we are going to have that the styling now. So let me add now something here as a styling. So here I'm going to have a class name, and then this class name I'm going to give it a class of flex, so display flex. Then I'm going to have justify here to be justify between like that, and also we can have the height here to be 100 v height like that. So inside here now we are going to have two sections. So the first section is that, so we are going to have this section here, this part, and also we are going to have this part here. So let us add two sections. So the first section here, so we are going to have the first section there, and also the another section here. Now this one is the one that will be holding now the recent users and also the pie chart. So for this one, it will be, let me first of all make sure that I format the code here. So for this one now, it will also have two sections. So we are going to have this section that has these two part here, that's our card, and also this line chart here. So I'm going to start by styling this part. So this part we are going to give it a class name of flex, but we want them to be displayed horizontally or vertically, that is. So, and then inside here we are going to have two sections. And so now we are going to have another section which is that holds these two cards here. So let's do that. So here we can have this one, and we can give it a class name of flex. So we are going to have flex here, and also we can give it a flex wrap, so that if it takes enough space, then it can go under the other one. So then in here we can have now the other a div here that holds now the line chart. So let's also continue with that part here that has a line chart. So we can have a line chart here. So for the chart, we are going to use Material UI. So but now let us first of all concentrate with this one that holds these two cards, so that we can build these two cards here. So let me do that. So inside here I can have the first card here, and then let us style now the first card that has a gauge uh, chart. So this one we are going to give it like the background color. So the background color will be gray, and then we can give a variation of gray to be a 50. Also we can have the height of this card to be 100, like that. And also we can have now a margin of, let's say, something like 30 pixels. And also we can have the width to be 350 pixels, 350. Also we can have the shadow to be XL, like that. So if I do that and then come back to my project here now, we'll be able to reload this. Let me reload this and see if I can see that. I cannot be able to see it, so let me continue styling. So inside here now we can have another div that will hold now our chart, that is gauge. So I'm going to come here and add a class name. So a class name, and then here I can give it a height of, let's say, 200 pixels. And also let me add here inside this square bracket. So height and 200 pixels. Also we can have the width here to be another 200 pixels, like that. So inside here is where we need to add now the gauge chart. So and then also, because inside here we have to have another card, let me first of all make sure that we have that card. So the first thing that I'm going to do right here is to create now that part. So but before that, even let me first of all check if yeah, now you can be able to see we have this card here. So now also let me make sure that I can be able to add that div inside here, and also I'm going to add this class name here. So let me make sure that I copy this. I'm going to add it here. So we have this part here. So let me add that here and add that quotation mark. So if I save this, you can be able to see now we have these two here. So these two cards here. So now the other thing is, first of all, I need to deal with this that we are going to create a circle for ourselves. So here it will be very fast. So I'm going to add another div inside here, and inside here we are going to have a class name. A class name here we are going to have the height also. Actually, what we can do is that we can just give it a height of, let's say, 200 pixels, a width of 200 pixels. So we want to create like that round circle. So 200, and then here we can give a margin of 30 pixels, like that. Also here we can give a border. So a border here, we can give a border that has a 20 pixels width, and then we can give a border color. So the border here can give a border of red, and then 500, I think that, or 400, let's do with 400. And then also we can have the border to be solid. So border solid, like that. And also we can have rounded, so rounded to be full, like that. I think that's okay now. So if I now go back here, you'll be able to see the circle. So you can see the circle is how the circle looks like. So, and then also inside here we can have now the text, because now here this is where we have like the number of the donors. So I'm going to add here to be 100. If I do that here, you'll see that it is not inside this circle. So what we can do is to make sure that we style this part, this text. So for the class name here, we can have a font to be, let's say the font here will be something like, actually will be bold first of all, and also we can have the text. Here the text will be a text of 250 pixels, so 250 pixels, and also we can have a margin of, let's say, something like 40 pixels, 40 pixels like that. So if I do that and come back here, you can be able to see that this is a very big, you can see it is very big here, but also it is not contained. So let me just come back here for the text. This one, it should be 25. It's very large for 250. So you can see it is almost perfect, but you need to add something else. So I'm going to wrap this with another div. So like that, here we can have a div, and then we paste it here, but we need to style this div. So here we are going to have a class name. So for this class name here, we are going to have, give it a flex. You can give it a temps to be center like that. And also the other thing is, can give a justify content. We can have the justify to be center also, and also we can have a margin of 30 pixels like that. And then if I save that and come back here, you can be able to see we have placed it here. So I think that's okay for now. And then the other thing is, after this now, let me just come here. After this, we can have another text here that actually for donors. So let me add here. Actually, let me just copy this. Copy this one here. I'm going to paste it here now, and then we are going to write here prospects, so, or donors. So I think it's donors, yes, donors. And then let's see how it looks. So for the donors here, you can see it is actually outside this this card. So first thing that I need to do here is to make sure that I change the size. So this one, we can give it 18. So 18 here. I think also we can add the width, we can add the height of this card. So let me just come back here, and I can add the height. So this one, I think the height should be 300 pixels like that. I think that's okay. Yeah, you can be able to see, yeah, now it has taken the full width. Also here, I think I can change the font to be from bold, and then just leave it as regular. I think this one will look like, yeah, I think this is not too bad. Or maybe I can just say font should be semi bold like that. So let's see. Yeah, I think this will be okay. Yeah. So now the same for this one here. Inside here, we need to add now the gauge chart, and to do that, I want us to go to material UI. So I'm going to write here MUI and then chart. So I can use MUI charts here. So we are going to use material UI. So let me just come here and open material UI. And here we are going to see how we can be able to use material UI to create charts, which is very, very essential. So for here, I want to go to on this left pane here, panel, we can be able to go to gauge. So you can see the gauge here. So I'm going to actually see the gauge chart here. So you can see we have different gauges. So I'm going to use this one. And to install React MUI chart, first thing that you need to do is to come here to getting started. So I'm going to come here and copy this. So to install now the charts, you need to just come to this npm this get started here for the charts, and then you can copy this terminal command. If you're using yarn, you can do the same. If you're using this pnpm, you can do the same. So here I'm going to open another terminal, or actually we have this terminal here. So I'm going to paste that so that we can be able to add it here, or to install that package. But when you're using this MUI, a material UI, you need also to install other things. For example, you need to install this emotion react and emotion style, because if you don't do that, then it won't work. So also I think if it has finished installing, so it is still installing. So also the other one that you need to install is this, that is called MUI styled engine, because if you don't do that, then it means that it won't work. So make sure that you have used these three commands, this one for the charts, here, and also for this emotion react, and also for this styled, because if you don't do that, then that means that this material UI charts won't work. So here I want to use the gauge chart here. So I'm going to copy this, or I'm going to go to the gauges here, and the other thing that I'm going to do is to select the one that I want to use. So first thing that I want is to copy this so that I import it. So I'm going to import it like that, and then I can be able now to just, let me push this down. When I come up here, so for example, in a home page here, I need to import it here, up here. And then the other thing that I can do is that I think now I can be able to make sure that I add now the gauge here. So I'm going to copy this, the other part here. So this part, so, and I copy this like that, and then paste it here. So let's see if I just come here and format the code like that, and then let's come here to my project. So if I add our reload here, it should now give us like that gauge chart here. So it is reloading, so we can also be able to see how it looks like. So also you can do other styling. That's why they have used these spread operators here and also commented. So that means that you can add other styling or other options here. So for right now, you can see it has value, start angle, end angle. So if I do that, you can be able to see now we have that chart here. So, and the other thing that I think I can do to make sure that they are styled the same, I can first of all make sure that I think copy this here, or maybe I think they are okay. So let me just cut this or copy this, and then make sure that I paste it here. So after this now chart, I will be able to add it here like that, but this one will be prospects. So let me add it to be prospects like that. So prospects. So prospects, I think that's okay now. So if I just come back to my code here, be able to see now prospects here, and also we have the donors here. So right down here, I need to have a line chart, so I can do that very easy. Now I think I need to know where I need to add now that chart. So I think it's right here now. So let me add it down here, and then this will be very simple because already I had already imported the material UI chart. So I can come here to lines, so and see for the line, the chart that we can build with line chart. So I'm going to just come here, and you can see different one that you can use. I'm going to scroll down until I see the one that I want to use, and then I can be able to import it. So I want to use this one here, so I'm going to actually make sure that I copy it. So I'm going to copy this code here and like that, and then I can just paste it here. inside here like that. So I need to import this, and this will be very easy, because if you scroll up here, you'll be able to see how you can be able to import a line chart. So can be come here up here and see how you can be able to import it. And if you cannot be able to import it, like you cannot be able to see the importation, you can just come here and import. Now I can actually make sure that I copy this and then paste it here. So I'm going first of all to remove this, and here I can be able to use line chart. I think this will be line chart. You can be able to see it. And then here you can actually import now the line chart like that, and then it will be okay now. So let me also make sure that I format the code like that. Let me save this, and then when I come back to my project here, so this one is line chart is not defined. So I don't know why it is giving me this error. So line chart is not defined. So let me see where the error is coming from. So line chart is not defined. Let me just come back. Yeah, you have seen that it has reloaded, and now we have this part here, and also we have the line chart. So we have one section that we have been left with, and this is the section here that we have for the recent donors here, and this pie chart here. So let's come here, and then after that, inside here we need to create that part. So this one will be a very easy one, because already we have done the heavy work. So here I'm going to add the class name, and then here I can add flex, display to be flex to be column. Also we can have background to be gray, and then 100 like that. Also we are going to have a margin to be margin of 20 pixels. You can have also, you can have height, and the height here we are going to give it a height of 700 pixels, 700 pixels, and the width should be a width of, let's say, 300 pixels, 300 pixels, and we can have a shadow of XL or large like that. So if I just come back to my project here, you'll be able to see this part here. So the other part is very easy also, because we need to start with the recent donors. So for example, here we can have a div. So here we are going to have a div, and then this div we can style it, and this one will hold recent donors. So for the here we can have class name. You can give it a margin of, let's say, 40 pixels, and then inside here now we can have this header here, and then this header we can give it recent to be recent. The other thing that we need to have is a list here. So let's add a list, and then here we can have the name of our recent donors. For example, the first one here we can have as James Leslie. So Leslie like that. Also I think we can add other names here. So let me copy this and paste it several times here, like I think like that. Here we can have name like Joel, so Joel, and then also we can have I think that's okay, or any name that you think to add here can add. And so here we can have Jane, so let's add Jane here. And then also we need to maybe have it Jane dot here. We can have then the other thing is we can have also something like Liz like that, or maybe something like Rizdo. So I think that's okay now. So we need to have now the other part, that we have our donors as a chart. So after now here this div, we can have now our pie chart here. So let's first of all see how this one looks like. So recent donors here, and then I think it we have not saved this. So when we save this, you'll be able to see the names here. So we need to also be able to make sure that we make sure this is bold. So I'm going to add a class name, and then here I can say font to be bold, like that. And then after that, now we can have recent donors here. Now the other part here, we can add our pie chart. So I had already prepared the pie chart, because if I come back here to my material UI here and go to the pie chart part, so we have the pie chart. So let's see for the pie chart. So this pie here, and go to the overview, you can use different pie chart. So like let me show you, for example, these ones. So I'm using this one, so I'm going to copy this one here, and then I'm going to paste up here like that. Actually, I have pasted everything, so I need to just import, to copy this import part here, first thing, so like that, and then paste it here, up here. The other thing is now the pie chart, which is we are going to add it right here after now this recent donors here. So now I'm going to copy this here, or I have already prepared. So because if we do that, we are going to have a pie chart that look like this one here, but I want to change it. I want it to have different look, for example this one. So we are going to customize on different things. So I had already prepared that, so I'm going to copy it from here. So I'm going to copy that, and then paste it here in my code, like here, like that. And then I had already added this data here for the blood group A, blood group O negative, blood group AB, and also blood group O negative. So here I want to format this. And the other thing that I want you to notice is that for this pie chart to look like this one, I have actually done some customization. For example, the one that you see here for the MUI, you can see here, this is inner radius is 30, outer radius is 100. For my case here, the inner radius is 50 and outer radius is 70. So that is the customization that I have done, so that it doesn't look like this one, it looks like this one here. So if I go back to my chart and or my application here, can be able to see that we have this beautiful home page here. So I'm going to end this video here, and we are going to continue in the next video. Make sure you subscribe and also like this video. Hello and welcome back. So today we are going to continue building this beautiful, simple admin dashboard. So the other thing that we are going to look at is how we can be able to create this part here where we can be able to list all the donors. We are going to see how we can create this beautiful the data rich table here that we are going to call it DataGrid, or it's called DataGrid. So we are going to build this one here. And then also we are going to see for the prospect also. So let's continue and build this data rich table here. So for example, now we are going to come here to this part, and then we are going to navigate to the donors here. So the other thing is, let's now go to the donors part here, or the page, and then here we are going to continue. So for the donors here, the first thing that I want you to actually see is that we have this part that is that holds the all donors and this button here. So let's make sure that we create that. Even before that, we can style by giving it a width. So a width here, we are going to give it a width of 70 VW, like that. Also, we are going to have another div inside here, and this div is, we are going to give a class name here, a class name of, let's say, we are going to have a display of flex. We are going to have items to be on the same line. Also, we are going to have justify to be between here, and also we can have a margin of 30 pixels. like that. Also inside here now, the other thing that we can have is the heading one, that we hold the text for all donors, like that. So all donors, and then here we can give it a class name and then style it. So here we are going to give this a margin of 20 pixels, like that. And also we can have we can give it a font size of 20 pixels also. So 20 pixels, and then I think that's okay. Now here we can have now the button, and the button here is new donor, like that. Here we can give it a class name. So a class name of, let's say, a big background color of, and let me add the background color here, 1E, 1E, 1E. And then we can have the text to be white. And then also we can have the padding to be a padding of 20 or 10 pixels. And then cursor to be pointer. Cursor should be pointer, like that. So I think if I save this and then come back here to my part here, you can be able to see all donors and this new donor here. So the other thing that we need to do is to make sure that we use this data rich table here, and to use it we can use material UI data rich data grid here. So I'm going to see the overview. So when you click on this overview here, you can be able to see this, how you can build this rich data grid here. So, but before that, I want to go here to get started, and then I can be able to install this. So let must install this. So let me install rich data grid here. And also you can see the same, you need to have to install, if you want to use this, you need to install or have installed this emotion react and also this styling here. So I think now it is installing. So let us wait until it has finished installing. After you have installed that, you need to make sure that you have added the rows here, and also you need to have the columns. So that I have already prepared, and we are going to add that. So after you have rows and columns, you need to add now rich data grid as the one that you can see here. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to add it here now in my code, because here you can see we are having now this part here. So let me first make sure that I add the div, and then I'm going to add it right there. So the other thing, I'm going to make sure that I add here a margin of 30 pixels. So 30 pixels, like that. And then the other thing is I want to import it. So let me first of all make sure that I import using this here, this line of code. So I'm going to import it up here, like that. Also, I don't want to have this here, so I'm going to remove this. Actually, let me see where the error is. So I import it like that here. So also here I need to remove this part here. So I want to see where the problem is, because here you can see import unknown keyword or identifier. So after that, now it has the error is gone. So the other thing that we need to have is these rows and columns. So I had already prepared that. So we are going to come here to my notepad, and then here I'm going to actually make sure that I copy these columns. I had already created the columns and also the rows here. So let me copy everything here, and then I'm going to paste it up here, like that. So the other thing is we need to add several things. For example, let me see, for this link we need to import the link. So import the link here from React Router DOM. So from React Router DOM, for example, this one here, like that. Also, the other thing that we need to import is this icon here from React Icons. So I'm going to import, here we are going to import far trash, like that. and then now I think this is okay now. So if I save this and come back here to my project, so error rows is not defined. I think when I reload here, now it will be able to show me this data. So you can see now we have this data here. So even you can see it has pagination. So actually, if you check here, you can see this one has this point here for selection. So to do that, I'm going to add here. So I'm going to add down here that option. So to add that, you can come inside here to this data grid and then add check checkbox selection like that. And when you save that and come back here, you'll be able to see that we have this part here for selection. So I'm going to do the same for the prospects here. So let me come to these prospects here and then add the same. So here I'm going to copy everything here like that. I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to paste it here because it's the same thing. So here this is for all prospects. Yeah, so let me change this. So all prospects here like that. Another thing is that we need to have we need to import here this part up here. We need to import everything here like that. So let me import it here like that. So copy that, then come up here and paste this one here. And then I think this one we are going to need it. So also the other thing that I have done is that I have prepared the columns and rows for these prospects here. So let's do that. So it is actually here. So from here, these columns and also these rows here. So like that. If I copy this and then add it here, let me add it like that. So now the error is gone. So if I come back here, can be able to see that we have all this data here, and we need to remove this button because here we are not going to need that that button because we don't add new prospects. So let me remove this from here like that, and I think now it's okay now. So if I come back to this part now, you can see all the prospect, and it looks the same with this one. So I think that's okay now. So we need now to also check on the detail page. So if you click on this approve here, it needs to take you to another page that is where you can be able to approve the prospect. So let's do that. The first thing that I need to do is to make sure that I add here another page that is called prospect. So I'm going to add prospect here like that. Then JSX. The other thing is I want to add RFCE here, RFCE like that. So I'm going to remove this importation here. Then here also we need to make sure that we have added that out in our layout here. So I'm going to copy this and then make sure that when I just go to the prospect, I can go to the prospect and then add the ID here or anything that I like, a slug or anything like that. So here I can just save it like that. And then here also I need to import the prospect. So prospect, so from pages, so I can import it like that and then save it. So I'm going to close donors here, and I'm going to be left with and also for the home. So for the prospect here, when I click on this approval, so let me just come up here where we have the columns. So for the columns here, you can be able to see this approval here. I had already wrapped it with the link. So this one will be just link, and then it will be just prospect. It will just be prospect like that, and then something like 1 2 3, or we are going to place the ID of that prospect here. So if I come back here and go to the, actually I don't know why it's giving me if I come back here and then click on the approval here. Like that, you can see we are going to this prospect page here, and that's because we have created it right now. So inside here for the prospect, let me now create a page here. So for example, if you check here for the prospect, you'll be able to see we only need a part here, this card that will display our information. So let's do that. So let me remove this here. So here we are going to have styling. So class name here, first thing. So here we need to have it to be flex. We can have items to be center here. Also they justify to be center, like that. We are going to have a mean height here, then screen, like that. So inside here we are going to have now another div, and this one will now be holding the information. So here we can add the class name, we can add the margin to be 20 pixels, like that. We can also have height to be of 80 vh or v height, like that. We can have the width to be of 450 pixels, and also the other thing is we can give it a shadow of LG, like this one here. So if I save this and then come back here, you can be able to see this data or this card here. So now let's start creating our data inside here. So the first thing that we need to do is to have this header here, and this one is for prospects. So for prospect detailed page, so here we can also make sure that we style this. So a class name, we can give a font to be of semi-bold, so semi-bold here. We can have the margin to be of 30 pixels, and then after that, now we can just add an ordered list here. So here we can have the margin, so we can have class name, we can have a margin to be of 30 pixels, like that. And then inside here we can have now the list. So for the list here, I'm going to have a styling. So I'm going to have a styling of, let's say, something like a margin right of something like margin top of 10 pixels, like that. So inside here now we can have, let me add here a strong here, like that. We can have that strong here, and here we can add something like name, and then we can have the colon here. After the name here we can have now the name, maybe this one would be James Kruger. The other thing is here I need to give it bold. So here we need to have font to be semi-bold, like that. So when I save this and then go back to my code here, be able to see the name here. So I can copy and paste it several times. So let me copy it, and I'm going to paste it here. So for example, the other thing that we should add here, we are going to need to add address. So address. So here I can add address, like we can just copy from here actually. So the address, this one here, and then add it right there, then move from this part here. Also we need to just copy this list here, and then we can have another thing. So we can, after the address, we can have the phone number. So let me just get this phone number here. So this phone number, so I'm going to remove this text here. For the phone number, I'm going to add like this one here, anything. Also we are going to add another list here, and then for this one is for blood type. So let me add blood type, So blood type here we can add AB. So AB, so AB and then plus. So AB plus like that, or AB positive. We can add something else here. So after blood type, also we can have disease. So here we can have disease or diseases. Let me add as diseases, and for diseases here we can just add something like maybe none. Let's say the prospect doesn't have any disease that he or she knows. So also here we can add another one. For after the disease we can have date here. So let's add date here, and for the date we can have, so the date can be 12/6/7 and then 2024. And then the other thing is, let's add after date we can add the weight. So here we have the weight like that, and then here we can add to be 50 kgs, or let's add as 50 kgs here. And let's have another list here. So this one we are going to have, after the weight we can have the status, and then the status here is pending, status to be pending. So let me add here pending like that. So after that, after this one here we can have a span, but before that we can just check how it looks like. So let's come back here. You can see the information here. Now we need to have another text here. So this one we are going to say, do you, or actually I can copy paste rather than typing to save time. Do you want to approve James to Adorno? So I'm going to paste it here like that, and also we can have now the button here. So the button, and then this is for approve. So I'm going to add here approve like that. So if I come back here to my project here, you can be able to see that they are aligned at the displays are displayed at the line. So I'm going to add here class name, and here I'm going to add to be displayed block, and also I'm going to have the margin to have a margin of, let's say, 10 pixels like that. So if I do that and come back here, you can be able to see now we have displayed them in a block. So the last thing that we need to do also is to make sure that here we have styled this button. So let me style this button here, class name. So the other thing here we need to do to give a background color of red here, 400. Also we can have like text to be white like that. Also we can have cursor to be pointer. We can have like padding to be have a padding of 5 pixels, and we can have the width here to be 150 pixels, and then we can have a margin of 10 pixels like that. I think that's okay now. And if we check right here, you can be able to see that we have this button, and we have created this beautiful card that displays the information about this prospect. So that is it. I want to end this video here. So make sure that you like this video and also subscribe to this YouTube channel. Make sure that you turn on the notification bell, and you'll be notified the next time I upload the next video. So in the next video, we are going to complete this beautiful dashboard, admin dashboard, and then we are going to jump into another project. See you in the next video. Have a great day. Hello and welcome to V8 Tech Works. So this is the final part of the video that we are going to build this beautiful admin dashboard. So let's continue from where we left. Remember to like this video and also subscribe to this YouTube channel and turn on the notification bell. So now what we are going to do right here, we are going to create other pages. We need to have another 2 pages, and we are going to add them right here. So the first page that we need to have is a page that is called new donor. So let's add here new donor, and this one will help us to be able to at least be able to add now the new donor. So RFCE, like here, and then we can create that page like that. Also, we need another page here that is called donor. So let's add it here. So donor.jsx. So this one is for detail, because we need the page that will show the detail page of the donor or information about the donor, and also will help us to edit the donor. So I'm going to remove this here, and also now I need also to come here to app.jsx and then add those 2 pages here and their paths. So I'm going to copy this and then paste 2 times here like that. So here I'm going to add a comma here, and then here I'm going to add, let's add a new donor path here like that. And here I can just import new donor. You can be able to see the auto completion. Also here we need to have a donor and then their ID, because this one will be fetched using the ID. So here I'm going to add new donor, actually donor like that. Let me add donor like that, and then now we have imported it, those 2 pages up here. You can be able to see new donor and also donor page here. So I'm going to close this, and then the other thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to come here to the menu, or actually I'm going to come here to this part that you are calling donors here. And when you want to go to the donor page, we are going to actually add this ID here. It is a donor and then the ID of that donor. So for now, because we don't have their ID, I'm going to just write the ID to be 123 here. So another thing is that also when you click on the edit, or let me for example check here for the new donor. So if you click here on this new donor, so all donors, and here we don't have the button, or it's here, this button. So if you click on this button here, you will have now to go to the new donor page. So let me add it here. Let me import link here from React Router DOM. So like that. Let me just add here. Let me import it from React Router DOM. I think it has been imported, yes. And then in here we can wrap it. We can wrap our button. Also here I need to now just make sure that I go to new donor like that. So let us see how this will work. Also here you need to save this one here. I'm going to close the prospect and prospects page here. So let me just come back here, and when I come now to donors here and go to new donor, you can see this is new donor here. Also, when you come back to the donors here and then go to edit donor here, you can see you're going to this page that is donor. So let's create this page. So now let's get back into the donor page here, and the other thing that I'm going to do here is to create a or to style here. So I'm going to have a class name. So for this page, we need to create this page that is called donor. So if you click here, you can be able to see this page. So we are going to create this right now. So I'm going to come back here, and I can add now the styling. So first of all, I need to have 2 parts. So if you can check here, you need to have this part here and this part. So that's why you need to have display flex. Also, the other thing is you need to do items be center, also justify to be center here also. And then the other thing is you can have min height and then screen like that. Also inside here we can have the other div, so we need to have this div here. So this is the first part, and also we need to have another div right here. So this is the first div, and then this is the second div, or you can call them the card. So this one and this one right here. So here I can be able to now style this div here. So class name, here we need to give it a margin of 20 pixels. So 20 pixels like that. Also we need to have a padding of, let's say, a padding of 20 pixels. Also we need to have a height of 180 VH like that. And also we are going to have a width of 450. So 450 pixels. We are going to have a shadow of LG like that. So inside here now we are going to have other things. So first of all, let me copy this styling here and paste it to the other card, because these are identical. So if I come back to my project here, you'll be able to see we have this one and this card, these two cards. So I need to add this information. So I'm going to come here to this first one here, and we are going to start with the heading. So I'm going to add here head 2, and here this one we are going to call it donor. So I need to style this. So styling this, we are going to use class name here, and here we are going to have font weight to be semi bold like that. And also I think that's okay. So we can continue with the other part. So we are going to have a div right here, and this div is the one that will be holding this label and the input. So let's first of all make sure that we add here the styling. So it will be flex, then flex column, and also we're going to have margin vertical to be having a vertical margin vertical of 12 pixels like that. So inside here now we can have the label. So have label here. So the label here, for the example, this one is the name, and we have the input here. So let's do that now. So this we have input, and then for this input here we can add things like placeholder. So placeholder, and then here we can add like the name James Kruger. I think this one is okay, James Kruger. Also here we can add other parts, for example the class name. So for the class name here we are going to call it we are going to style it. So we need to have a border. So let's have a border here, and then it should be bottom border, and then we give it to border of 2. So here also we need to have a border. Actually we only need to have a border here, and give that also border a color. So which color we are going to give it? We are going to give it a darker color, and then here also we can give it, this border should be solid. So I'm going to use border solid. We are going to have outline, so outline to be none right here, and then you're going to give it a padding of, let's say, 10 pixels like that. And also we are going to have the length of this input should be 300 pixels. So if I do that and come back here to my project, you can be able to see that we have this for the name. So we are going to have others now. So let's have the others. So for the label here, I think we should not add any styling. So I'm going to copy this, and then let me first of all make sure that I format here. So here I'm going to take this, and then I'm going to paste it, sorry. And then let me copy this like that, and then I'm going to paste it here. So after the name, we need to have like the address. So I have address here, and for the address I think I can just, let me actually add here, I can be able to add name, or for now it is not important, so we can ignore it. So here for the address, we can give the address here, or even I can be able to copy from here. So let me copy this, and because it's cannot be able to copy, so I'm going to have this address here, Michigan, USA, like that. Also, we are going to have under this part here. After the address, we need to have the telephone number or the phone number. So here, let's add telephone number. We are going to have the telephone number here. So let me add it right here. And I think I can just give the number here. And then also here, after our telephone number, we need to have now what we are calling broad group type. So we are going to say broad group here. So let's see. Actually, I don't know why my keyboard is misbehaving. So broad group type here, we can say the broad group type here is, for example, AB plus, like that. And also we can add another information here, which is the email. So let me add the email here. So for the email, we are going to add the email here for the James Kruger, for example. So here we are having James Kruger at gmail.com, like that. Also, we are going to have and I think this is for this part here, I think it's enough. We need to have a weight now on the other side. So for this one, we need to go to this other card now. We are going to have the weight. So here we have the weight, like that. We are going to have like the weight here to be 2,000 pounds. I don't know if this is, or let's add it as maybe 55 kg, like that. Also, we can have another thing, like, let's say, for example, we can have the date, I think so. So for the date here, we need to change, let me just write it correctly. So here we need to have the date. So I'm going to, the type of this input is the date. And then I think the last one now, we are going to have diseases. So I'm going to add here diseases. So for the diseases here now, like that. And then here we can add something like maybe hypertension, and then that's okay now. So here I need to add a button. So let's add a button here, like that. And then here we can add update. So let us type this button, or for start here, or right now, just first of all make sure that we see how it looks like. So here you can be able to see it's making, or it's looking good. So here I'm going to come here, and I'm going to add a class name right here, and I can be able to add the styling. For example, I'm going to add background color of, let's say, this color here. So also we are going to have a cursor to be pointer here. And also we are going to have text to be white. And then also we are going to have a padding of 10 pixels. And then the width here, the width should be a width of 300 pixels, like that. So if I go back now and check, so you'll be able to see now we have this button, it has been styled. So the other page that I want to create is this other page that you are calling the new donor. So if I click here and go right here, you can be able to see this new page here. So this page is what we are going to create now, and this is very simple because if you check, it is the same with this one here. So let us make sure that we create that. So I'm going to come here to new donor. So I'm going to just copy everything from this page here. So I'm going to copy everything here. Let me do that like that here until there. So here I'm going to copy that and then save this. After that, now the other thing that I need to do is to make sure that now I copy this to this new donor here. So let me do that. I've added here, so now the code. So I'm going to come back now to my project here and then try and go to the new donors page. Here you can be able to see now it's the same here, but I need to change some things. So for example here, this one, because it's adding the new donor here, we need to add new donor. So if I do that, you'd be able to see that these have changed. Also, we need now to remove this border bottom here. So we need to remove this, and like that. If I remove that, you can be able to see that. Let me save, because I have not saved here. When I have removed that, you'll be able to see now we don't have the border, but I want to make sure that we have that border. So to do that, I can be able to come here and maybe just remove this like that. I think so. And then let us add now like the border. So let's add the border here. And then the border here, I'm going to add a border of, let's say, like this 5 here. Also, the other thing that I want to do here is to add border solid. So border solid like that. Let's see if this will work now. So I think I have saved that. So the other thing is to make sure that I have added border. So I have added the border here, border, I think 2. I think that will be okay now. So if I save this now and go back here, be able to see now we have this very okay. So this border here. So now let me copy this styling and I'm going to paste it for every input that we have. The other thing that I want to remove from this is the shadow. So I'm going to remove this shadow here. And then when you come back here, you'll be able to see that we don't have the shadow right now. So other thing is now I'm going to paste it in here. I'm going to replace the styling here like that. You're going to also make sure that I remove this styling like that. And then also we are going to have this styling here. Let's add another styling here. So let's do that. Replace this styling for every input that we have. So I'm going to remove also this for the weight here. So remove this, and also we are going to remove this input here. So another thing is here we need to have an input. So I don't know why this is giving me the error. So I think I've replaced here. So I need to just remove this class name and replace it. So also for, I think now it's okay because we have finished everything. So here I'm going to create here. So create, this is create button because this is for adding new donor. Another thing that I want to do is to remove this shadow here. So remove this shadow, and when I save this, now I can see we don't have that shadow, and we have a very beautiful page where we can be able to add the donor. So if I come here to the home page, now you can be able to see our home page that we have created. Also, you can be able to see the donors page here where you can be able to go to the donors detail page here. And also if we come back here and click on the new donor here, we can be able to add our donors here. We can go to the prospects here, and for the prospects, we can be able to go to the approve here, and we can be able to approve this prospect to be the donor. So now that is what I wanted for us to create this beautiful admin dashboard with you. So I think this has helped you in one way or another. If to, for example, how to create the layout using React Router DOM, also using Material UI. So remember to like this video and also subscribe. You'll get the code on the description of this video. So see you in the next project. Have a great day.